Hockey Ultimate Team and NHL 26 is kicking off their first event with fresh ice, including 5 Master Set player items. I'm going to break down everything that you need to know about this event and how you can earn a Master Set item for free. On top of that, we're going to rank each of the 5 Master Set player items, and we've got details on our first ever Chell week from EA, a week-long event that has daily content. Let's get into it. Now, our first 5 Master Set player items are Brock Faber from the Minnesota Wild. We've got Morgan Riley from the Toronto Maple Leafs, Tyler Seguin from the Dallas Stars, Logan Thompson from the Washington Capitals, and Matthew Tkachuk from the Florida Panthers. When it comes to ranking the Master Set player items, remember, always use your favorite players. But if you have no horse in the race, and you were just looking for the cards that should help your team the most, here's who I would recommend. Coming in at number 5, no surprise, is Logan Thompson. At 6'4", 207, he has All-Star Recharge, which will help lower the stamina bar reduction every time your goaltender makes a save. And anytime that he gets a breakaway, desperation, or perfect one-timer save, your team will get an energy boost. Early on, when endurance ratings are really low, this is actually a half-decent ability, but there's other goaltender abilities I'd rather have active. Now, he's got 86 speed, which is pretty good for this stage of the game. It is the most important goalie stat, in my opinion. However, he has 80 aggression, and something that I've noticed early on with a lot of goaltenders, especially the higher-rated ones, is that their aggression is quite high as opposed to prior games. And why that's an issue is because when a goaltender has higher aggression, they play at the top of the crease. And in-game, anytime that you get in tight, you can simply do a backhand forehand or forehand backhand and just throw it in the net because they're out too far. Now, maybe that'll change this year, but from my experience, lower aggression tends to be better with how people play online. Regardless, Logan Thompson would be my number 5. I do want to point out that your goaltender duo, so the starter and backup, do count towards your line combinations. So because he is an American from the Washington Capitals, he will count towards the American and LA Kings combination. So if you have a backup that is from the LA Kings, both cards will get a +1 overall boost to all of their stats. However, I think I'd rather save this for a D combo rather than your goaltender. He can also fit into a pairing with a Ottawa Senator goaltender, which will give him a $1 million salary boost. But if you're worried about salary cap right now, you have spent a lot of money in game. And finally, he does not have an option to be paired for an ability point boost. This is where, if there was a goaltender combo that could give me an ability point boost, I would be kind of interested in, because I think ability points are going to be worth more than even overalls early on in the game. Coming in at number 4 is the cover athlete, Matthew Tkachuk. At 6'2", 202, he's got great size and comes with All-Star Big Tipper. In my opinion, Big Tipper is not a super impactful ability. I think that it does help when it is activated, but you have to get Matthew Tkachuk in a spot to actually set up for a tip and then actually cleanly beat the goaltender. It's just very situational. On top of that, he comes with 84 speed, excel, and agility, which is okay, but it's not anything impressive even at launch in the game. There are a lot of cards that are quite low in overall, but they have really high speed. Now, while 84 overall isn't terrible for his skating, if you're going to make a pretty big investment, I just don't think that that's worth it. His hand stats are 87 across the board, but in my opinion, the most important one, deking, is only 84, and then his body checking is at 83. This is an okay card, but he doesn't do anything exceptional, and he is a pure left-handed winger, which is why he would be at number 4 for me. Now, when it comes to his lineup combinations, he can get a +1 overall if he is paired with a St. Louis Blue and Ottawa Senator, as well as 2 New York Rangers. And while that will help, it is only +1 overall. Speed does count. You can also add 2 AP to your team if he is paired with 2 other Americans. Coming in at number 3 is the 84 overall Morgan Riley. At 6'1", 225, he does have good size, and he comes with All-Star Send It. Now, Send It is actually a pretty useful ability in NHL 26. After being one of the worst abilities in the game since X Factors were introduced, Send It now comes with an auto sauce mechanic regardless of where you're passing, whether offensive zone, defensive zone, it does not matter. It will create an auto sauce if there is a situation where you need to get it through someone and over an opposing player's stick, which is always going to be helpful. And anytime that you hit a player in stride, you will get a temporary boost of acceleration. It's actually quite a pretty good ability. Now, he also comes with 86 speed and excel, which is pretty good at this stage of the game, like I mentioned. 85 and above is kind of like the line of good. Now, his slapshot accuracy is at 79. D to D one-timers are still going in, but I have found that accuracy has forced a lot of skill-based one-timers to miss the net. His body checking is 81. Defensive awareness is at 84. He is a strong defensive option, especially if you need a left-handed defenseman. However, I think the real difference maker here is if you are able to pair him with a Nashville Predator. If you can get him with someone from Nashville, he will get +2 overall to all of his stats. So at that point, he would have 88 speed and 88 acceleration. He would be in the upper tier of skaters so far early at launch. It is too bad, however, that Roman Josi is left-handed. I would not force a lefty-lefty or righty-righty on defense. I think the D-to-D one-timer threat is too important. Coming in at number 2, we've got the 84 overall Tyler Seguin, 6'2", 201. He's got good size and comes with all-star quick release, which in my opinion is one of the best offensive abilities in the game. He's got 86 speed and excel, which again is pretty good. His shot is all above 86 overall, deking's up at 87, and he's got an 83 overall face-off rating, so if you need to play him at center, you can. I think this is a strong offensive card to start your team with, and he does fit into a few line combinations as well. If you pair him with a German or an Edmonton Oiler, like, let's say, Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, if your luck was insane, he would get a +1 overall boost. Same thing if he was paired with someone from Sweden and the Washington Capitals. However, a far easier one is if he is paired with 3 Canadians, you will get 3 more AP added to your ability point pool, which is very helpful. And then coming in at number 1, and in my opinion, it's a clear number 1, is the 84 overall Brock Faber. At 6'1", 200, he's got good size and comes with all-star elite edges, which is still one of the best abilities in game. He's got 91 speed and 88 acceleration, making him one of the fastest cards. He also comes with 83 body checking, 87 defensive awareness, and 88 stick checking. I'll be honest, I think this is a clear front runner. I think Faber is just in a tier of his own from this event. And if you pair him with an LA King, he will also get a +1 overall. And as you can see, +1 to every stat. Now, to make these cards, you need to head on over to the Fresh Ice sets. This is a timed event, and it looks like it will end on September 12th. There is no confirmation that this will get a second week, and if it does, you won't be able to make any of these Master Set player items regardless, as they have a 1-week timer on them. Now, to make these Master Set player items, you will need to acquire 3 81 to 83 overall Fresh Ice players, as well as 2 other 81 to 83 overall items from any release in the game. Now, a couple ways to do that. The barrier for entry in this event is to make the 79 overall Fresh Ice player sets. So to do that, you will need to trade in 3 77 to 78 overall items. By doing so, you'll get yourself a 79 overall Fresh Ice player. The first release of 79 overall players that you can make from the set would be the 79 overall Cody Ceci, who comes with Specialist Warrior. You've got the 79 overall Anthony Mantha from the Pittsburgh Penguins at 6'5", 234. The left-handed winger has Specialist Big Rig, but 87 speed and excel. His agility is absolutely awful, but at that size, 87 speed and excel is quite useful. And if he's paired with 2 other Canadians, you'll add 3 AP to your lineup. And then lastly, in my opinion, one of the most important cards early on, the 79 overall Frank Nazar. At 5'10", 190, the right-handed center comes with Specialist Wheels, with 85 speed and 86 excel, which again is pretty good. The real benefit with Nazar is what he allows a lot of the player base to do if you pre-order the game. Because if you were to pair him with someone from Finland and a Chicago Blackhawk, like Jeremy Roenick's hero card and Teemu Selanne's icon card, you'll give the entire line +2 overall, which means Teemu Selanne jumps up to 96 speed. Now, they're all right-handed, but still, that's just a deadly combination early on in the game. Now, moving on up, you'll need to trade those 79 overall Fresh Ice players into 81 overall Fresh Ice players with this set right here. So again, by trading in Cody Ceci's, Anthony Mantha's, Frank Nazar's, you'll be able to make an 81 overall Fresh Ice player. Now, the players in this pool are the 81 Karel Vejmelka from the Utah Mammoth at 6'4", 221. He has Specialist Post-to-Post, which has been pretty good early on. Again, the players that I've played that have had this ability, they've done really well. 86 speed and 6'4", that will play. Noted he does have really high aggression at 82 overall. You've got the 81 Jamie Drysdale at 5'11", 185. He comes with Specialist Elite Edges and 86 speed with 87 acceleration. Not going to help you out a ton in the defensive zone with 78 body checking and 79 defensive awareness, but his speed will help you make sure you defend the rush well. And then lastly, you've got the 81 Luke Evangelista. At 6 foot 183, the right-handed winger comes with specialist pressure, which is a very good ability. 84 speed and excel with 83 agility. Not awful. He is a pure right-handed winger. Now, once you have completed that set and you have an 81 overall fresh ice player, you will need to repeat the process until you have 3 81 to 83 overall fresh ice players. So you will need to do those sets multiple times to get at least 3 items so that you can make one of the 5 master set player items. Now, the other players that you'll find in packs is the 80 overall Kirby Doc at 6'4", 216. He's got specialist quick pick with 85 speed and excel and 81 agility. Only 81 hand stats, but again, early on, there's a lot of Montreal Canadian fans out there. There is a usefulness to having 3 Canadians on a line, so he would fit that bill, and he's got good size. We've also got the 80 overall Mason Appleton at 6'2", 194. He comes with specialist born leader, 85 speed and excel, only 79 agility. Again, hand stats and checking below 80 overall, so this one's pretty rough. At 82 overall, we've got Hampus Lindholm at 6'4", 224 with specialist quick pick. Now, he's got 87 speed and excel, and I know I mentioned that I wouldn't sacrifice having opposite-handedness on the back end to activate an ability, but if you have Zdeno Chara, that would mean you have 2 lefties, but you would give Chara +2 overall if you were able to activate the 2 Bruins on a D combo, and Hampus Lindholm would get up to 89. That would probably be the only situation when I would consider it, because this card is very good. Even without the Chara boost, this is one of the better cards that aren't master set items. He also has 85 defensive awareness. We've also got Mikael Granlund, which you can acquire for free. At 5'10", 185, he's got specialist tape to tape, 84 speed, excel, and agility, and 75 faceoffs. He also fits a pretty popular +2 overall line combination with 3 Anaheim Ducks, or he fits in with 2 Blackhawks, which again would give +2 overall. The 83s so far at launch, we've got the 83 Vladislav Gavrikov at 6'3", 220 and specialist no contest. 85 speed and excel with 83 agility, comes with 84 body checking and 85 defensive awareness and stick checking. Again, those are important stats to pay attention to. This is a pretty well-rounded card considering he is 6'3". And then our last event item is the 83 Nick Ehlers, which is better than almost all of the master set player items. 92 speed, 92 excel, 85 agility. He's got a wrist shot all above 84 and 87 deking. Absolutely awesome left-handed winger if you're able to acquire Nick Ehlers. Now let's go over the ways to acquire these cards. If you go to the Fresh Ice collectible sets, you'll have 4 sets available to you, and all of them will require Fresh Ice collectibles. More on that in just a little bit. Now, the only one you want to focus on if you are trying to get a master set player item is the 81 overall Fresh Ice set. This will require 30 Fresh Ice collectibles, but it is going to guarantee you an 81 overall Fresh Ice player. And again, you're going to need 3 of those at least to make a master set item. So let's start with how to acquire these Fresh Ice collectibles. First is in the Fresh Ice objectives. By completing all 8 of these Fresh Ice. So let's start with how to acquire these collectibles. First, you would go to objectives, over to events, and you'll see that there are 8 Fresh Ice objectives for you to complete. Now, the first ones you want to complete are any of the ones that state any mode. You've got 5 games, make passes with any Fresh Ice player item, as well as get hits with any Fresh Ice player, again in any mode. The reason why you want to focus on these ones first is because they can be done in moments. If you head on over to moments, you'll see the Fresh Ice moments, and there'll be 5 moments, 1 for every master set player item, and they will give you the card to use in that moment. So everything that you do in game with them will count towards those moments. And by completing these moments specifically, you're going to get a 79 overall Fresh Ice player, as well as 2 other 77 overall untradeable cards. And don't forget, you can use the 79 overall Fresh Ice player here, along with 2 more to make an 81. That'll cut down the price. Now, the other one that you want to focus on is the completing 5 sets to get the 82 overall Mikael Granlund. It will be account bound, so you can't use him on your team, but that is still going to be important. I'll explain why in just a minute. The best way to get 5 sets done without losing any value is if you head on over to the exchange sets here, and the very first one, the 70 plus set, it'll allow you to trade in 70 to 73 overall items, but you can use your starter team items in this set. And once you've started to fill out your roster and get rid of all of these cards in your lineup, you are going to have enough to complete a few of these sets alone to get you that Mikael Granlund. Now, once you have done the hits as well as sets, and then the complete 5 games and make passes all in moments, essentially, the next thing you want to do is head on over to Wildcard. Now, wild card is important because it doesn't require any team. You get to draft your own team, so you don't have to worry if your team is not going to stack up against other players. It'll also allow you to test out master set player items in the draft pool. So if you are thinking about trying out a card, like you want to see if Tyler Seguin would be a good card to go after, you can throw him in your wild card team and get to play with him in the wild card games. Now, by completing the wild card path, you will get 22 fresh ice collectibles. Again, it requires 30 to make an 81 overall. So you're going to want to finish this wildcard path. Now, once you are done the wildcard path and you have those collectibles, your next step is to finish off the objectives that require you to play ranked, cup chase, or champs. So you've got 25 games, take shots, get assists, and score goals with any fresh ice player item. Again, you can do this in cup chase. You just need to have fresh ice player items in your lineup to get that done. Also, the 25 games, for every fresh ice player in your lineup, if you have, let's say, 5 of them, 1 game counts for 5. So you would only need to play 5 games total if you had 5 in your lineup. So before you start Cup Chase, what you want to do is make sure you throw in any of the fresh ice players you were able to get. So after throwing the account-bound Mikael Granlund in, I've got him, Mantha, and Cody Ceci that will all work towards objectives while I'm doing my Cup Chase run. And once you've done one run of Cup Chase, you're going to get all of this completed just by playing the game, putting a focus on using those cards in those games. But you'll also end up with an 81 overall Fresh Ice Evangelista, which you can then use as a trade-in for a Master Set item. So after you have that 81 overall Evangelista, you still need 2 more. Now, once you've completed Wildcard and those objective lists, you're going to have more than 30 to make another 81 by doing this trade-in set. And the last thing you need to take advantage of is to head on over to the store. And every day at 5 p.m. when the store rolls over, there will be a daily event pack, and it will feature 5 collectibles as well as 1 other random item. But you can do this for, let's say, even the 6 days or even less. You'll still have enough with the objectives and wildcard collectibles you earned to make that third 81 overall Fresh Ice player. And remember, if you need an 81 to 83 overall player item and you log in every day to get those collectibles, you can almost make 2 more 81 overall Fresh Ice players, and those will also count towards the other 2 that you need. Now, lastly, let's discuss our first Chell week. Now, these are going to pop up randomly throughout the year, and they're going to be special events where EA will drop daily content for those specific Chell weeks. So the first one is Cult Superstars. EA tweeted this information out saying that Chell weeks are limited time programs that spotlight unique themes with new cards, challenges, and rewards each day. They celebrate different stars and playstyles, adding variety and personality to your squad. Now, we see an image here with the 84 Jacob Trouba, Tom Wilson, and Nazem Kadri, but we also got info that Jacob Slavin would be the other 84 overall. Now, the release goes on to state that Chell weeks will begin on September 8th, and here is how the 5-day content drop will work. On day 1, Monday, 4 buildable Cult Superstars will become available, so those 4 player items, and you can start working towards Tom Wilson, Trouba, Nazem Kadri, and Jacob Slavin. You'll receive a free starter pack with 1 Chell Week player to get started. And then a community vote will also begin, letting us choose which player will receive a +1 overall upgrade at the end of the week. So when you log in, you are going to get a choice of who to vote for, and they will get a +1 overall depending on who gets voted for the most. On Tuesday, September 9th, a new player combination, +5 AP, will drop into the program. It connects to the Cult Superstars theme, giving you more options to shape your lineup. So expect to see a lineup combination that will allow a lot of these players to kind of fit in and give +5 AP to your team. On day 3, Wednesday, September 10th, a limited time collection will open with themed rewards for completing it. You'll also see a new World of Chell customization added this day. On Thursday, September 11th, an 85 overall Spotlight player will go live, earnable through Hut Moments. I expect this is the 85 overall Spotlight Sam Bennett that was shown off in the Hut Deep Dive. And lastly, on Friday, September 12th, the worldwide launch, the community vote closes, the results are revealed, and the winning player will earn a +1 overall boost, making your choice part of the week's legacy. So a lot of new content coming at launch of NHL 26. Let me know what cards you're most interested in and who you're going after. I hope your pack luck has been good. I'll see you next time.